right here, this is where I'm seeing all that tension pulling. See the ball right there? We're gonna go in with this. Range of motion test number 2. Very heavy, feels like in duration. We have a little bit of tension right here, but there is a bit of tension all around here. Yo, what's going on, guys? So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through a lot of tension right here in this serratus anterior, what it feels like. Even in the subscapularis area, we're finding a lot of tension all right in here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working just through like this, and we need heat. So we warm up with the ached away heated scraper. We're going to use the high frequency vibration from 10 to go ahead and get the parasympathetic response to be as appropriate as possible, so that way it's not as painful. We're going to go through just lightly through this area. And as you can see, we're looking visual cues. You can see how it's pulling over into the pec and going down into the rib cage over here. We have a line of tension all coming out right here. And all of this is just to prep up for some neck relief. We have neck relief that we have to do bilaterally. So we're going to have to do this to both sides before we go into the neck. I'm sure there is also some shoulder restriction that's going on. I got the nod. And so that lets me know that, okay, so there's probably some oblique issues in the lower back, a lot of bracing in the rib cage. And so we have quite a bit of work today to do. But just for the sake of this session, we are going to just go ahead and work the serratus anterior, the subscap, and then move on into the levator scapula. Because typically the levator scapula can get really, really tight, and it causes tension all the way from here. So we're just going through. I feel like the high frequency vibration is the best factor for tackling on this issue. Just like that, you can see all that tension all the way pushing through the shoulder and up into the pec. You can even see over here how it's putting pressure down into the shoulder capsule. Just like that, made a world of a difference. I can feel the arm sitting down, relaxing a lot more, putting more weight on the leg, which is perfect. It's what we want. Tracing all the way through. Man, that is feeling nice and relaxed. Get a little bit closer up. Okay, just like that. So right here, this is where I'm seeing all that tension pulling all the way and pulling into that, underneath that pec. Using my radar scanner with these prongs to just go through the area and just palpate and see where all the tension's lying. Boom, right here. We're just gonna move upwards and just trace all the way through. Beautiful. Perfect. Next, going in, we're gonna grab the pec and we're just gonna see how we can see that just with light pressure. You can feel that tension just moving around, picking up like that. So move it this way. You can see the ball right there. We're gonna go in with this all the way through. Now already I'm getting some redness here. To avoid causing too much tension or too much redness, because I don't like to leave red scrape marks on my clients, I switch over to another device. So next we move on to the Nexia, and this is what we use. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on. The prongs turn around like this, and we just go through. Now I'm just gonna go through, check the other area, make sure it's all good. Feels really nice. Okay. And just like that, it's feeling a lot smoother. Go ahead and raise it up. Oh, this one, there. How does it feel?
Feels a lot better.
Yep, a lot more looser, right?
Way more.
Let me go ahead and see how it feels. Oh yeah, there's no weight to this at all. Okay, now we go on to the other side. And again, what I'm going for is right here. We have the scalenes right here, and I can already feel that they're looser. And right here, I can feel that it's a lot tighter. You can feel that?
Mm-hmm.
The difference between right here and right here, right? Okay. Range of motion test number 2. Very heavy. You can also see visual cues, boom, boom, boom. 2 of tensions right here in the serratus anterior, and then it's pulling up into the underneath the pec. Go ahead and try bringing it down yourself. And back up. And from my angle right here, I can also see that there's a lot of activation in the pec and also in the shoulder. All right, so now we're gonna continue on with the other side very quickly. We have a lot of tension all right here, like I mentioned previously. So we're gonna go in, high frequency vibration, again, heat. And I'm just feeling the tension and trying to see if we have anything that we really need to worry about. But so far, so good. Typical pathways, down here, up here. And as you can see, we do have a slight bit of tension right here. And honestly, this feels like induration. So induration is basically like edema that just hasn't been flown out with the lymphatic system. So we're just gonna work really lightly. And we're taking all of it towards the lymphatic nodes. And just like that, the densification that I was feeling earlier has been reduced dramatically, because it was not densification, it was known as induration, which is just a buildup of the edema. It's liquid that needs to be pushed out. Actually, we don't need that. We're gonna go in and scrape now. Perfect. Last part is going to be tracing all the way up here. So we come up. And now we're getting it up here by the pec. So we're getting right here all in this pec. Perfect. A little bit more right about right here. And that feels excellent. Go ahead and raise up. Definitely seeing it a lot more looser. How does it feel?
Pretty good.
Even when it goes down, I'm not seeing it catch. Go one more time. And down. Perfect. Heck yeah. So back over. Going back to the scalenes. Way looser, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep, not feeling any pain. Alright, so this is why I work the entirety of the other areas before going to this localized area for tension. This was our goal. Said, hey, my neck has a lot of tension. And the first thing I went to was the serratus anterior, and then I worked with the serratus, so that way we can make sure that the scalenes on both sides are both loose before we work on all the posterior side of the neck. Gotta make sure the front of the neck is good so that the posterior releases quickly. Now we're gonna continue on to doing the neck work. And we're gonna go ahead and move over to the side right here and begin to work all around this area. And we're just gonna see how the tension is. As you know, before we did release these scalenes, and by releasing these scalenes, we don't have to worry about that so much anymore, and more work on the levator scapula. Sternocleidomastoid surprisingly isn't usually an issue right here. I mean, sometimes it can be, but for this, no, it's not. I'm more concerned with all of this right in here. Now we do have an awesome tool that we use regarding this, so let me go ahead and go and get that. So we're going to go ahead and use this TMJ pen right here for the neck. Now I know it's considered the TMJ pen, but yeah, I think it's so much more, and it's good for detailing muscles all around. So we're going to go ahead and go through right here. Now some people say that they don't like that I use tools, but personally for me, I love using tools because it helps to speed up the process, and I don't have to use my hands as much, which saves us as massage therapists. It saves our hands. And the thing is that the vibration that it's going at, and at the rate that it's shooting it, there's no way that your hands can move that fast. Now, while I do love the human touch, and I think that has its own aspects for benefits and benefactors, having the heat for just a moment can help speed up the process. Instead of working on an area for, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes, well, now I only have to work on it for 5. And that is worth the time because it allows me to do even more for my clients. With this heat and this vibration, you can see where some of the other tension is tracing it, which is going into the jaw and up into the epicranial aponeurosis. There we go. How you feeling? You feeling okay?
Oh yeah.
Good. And just like that, this whole area just warms up immediately. It allows me to dig in, and now I can trace and I can find that tension that's pulling like right on the occipital right here. And I'm just gonna pull and just pull and push until I find the area of tension right here on the jaw. And I'm just gonna continue to trace it all the way around. And let's see what we find. We have a little bit of tension right here on this jaw right here, all the way up and into this little joint, the temporal mandibular joint right here, which is what the TMJ is made for. So let's showcase what it's meant to do, because this is the perfect time to use it. I usually use this tool for everything but the TMJ, which is pretty funny, but this is like the perfect time where one of the times where I'm actually gonna be able to use it for what it's known for. So right here, we're gonna go ahead and go. We're near the pterygoid major and minor area. And we're gonna trace tension all the way through. All the way up into the masseter. And from the masseter, we're just gonna trace upwards. Into the zygomatic arch. And into the temporalis area. Right here, I'm just gonna go a little bit more underneath the jaw, just to make sure we get that nice, deep relaxation. That looks smooth. There we go, looking much better. That's exactly what we want. Because all that tension was putting on right here and then pulling on to the occipital protuberance of the skull. And it just makes it so much more greater. And it makes it so much more greater. All right, now we can move on to the next side. So we're gonna go over here to the other side. And again, work through the entire neck. And same thing, everything, thanks to working the serratus, all of this feels super easy, super loose, super nice. We get down into the back of the skull right here, and we can see that there is a bit of tension all around here. So again, our good friend, Mr. T&J pen. Let's warm them up. High frequency vibration. And then we just go through. And I'm feeling that same similar pull all the way behind towards the ear area and then up into the jaw. Working down into some of the scalenes. There's still a little bit of tension there. Nothing near the bottom, just up here in the mid. There it goes. Now that it's relaxed, we're going to continue to trace. And I'm just letting the body lead, and I'm just talking about it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to force anything. You just let the body tell you where it needs to go, where the tension's at, and then we listen. So right here, I'm feeling it nice and relaxed. Nothing too bad, but around over here in the mandibular joint and into the temporalis. Right in here. Oh. Perfect. And that's moved up just as quick. So now for the final thing that I like to do is I like to actually go inside the mouth and actually work around in the pterygoid major minor, all the way up into the masseter and then up to do an internal release in case we have any tension in any of the muscles in here. So now we're gonna go in and we're gonna do the jaw work. So go ahead and open up, and work the top palate. So then now what I'll do is I will go open up, and then I'm gonna work on the sides right here. So go ahead and drop. And as he's closed up, now I'm gonna be putting pressure on just this little muscle right here. Very, very lightly. And with this hand over here, I'm gonna be moving and flossing the tension on the outside as I work. And I just find that tension. So then now I found it a little bit less, and then now I'm gonna move down a little bit more deeper. There we go, nice. Now I'm gonna work towards the masseter. And you can see right here the tension wall beginning to form. So we're just gonna go in and just floss it all the way through. Get it nice and relaxed. Coming down all the way up into the masseter. And then going all the way up. And my hand is just flossing where the other finger is at. And then we're gonna come up. All the way up into the very top where near the joint. And there it is, all that tension right there. And there we go. There it goes. Feel a little pop inside. There we go. That side is done. Let's move on to the other. How does it feel?
Yeah, it was something.
Try to open up. Does it feel a little looser?
It does, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I actually do. Feels like you can open up more.
Perfect. Go ahead and open. And right here, and then we're gonna do the same thing to the next side. So we're just gonna just trace all the way through the pterygoid. And all the way down into the masseter. You can see the tension there moving. Now I'm flossing from the outside and just going through again. Now I'm going to that masseter over here, all the way straight to the very, very top. And now we're gonna go follow, and we're gonna go all the way down. And just trace it all the way back down. Boom, and I just felt to let go. There we go. Go and try to open up. And there we go. Solid. Try turning the neck.
Oh. Yep.
A lot more looser.
Yeah, definitely a lot looser going this way. I've always had like issues going to the right, left, not as much, but yeah, it's actually a
Cool.
lot better.
All right, guys. Once again, I'm John of Greater Therapeutics. If you guys haven't already, please leave a like, comment. Let me know what you think about this video. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe, because we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and we grow every day thanks to every single one of you. Thank you for making it this far and enjoying the video. And until next time, stay greater.